Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, we've got some Vols fans that are not happy about recruiting. Don't think Josh Heupel's doing a very good job. Well, I got something to say about that. Hold my beer. All right, we're going to talk about recruiting for a moment. But the first thing we're going to do is straighten out a couple of things. Number one, the class we just got in and the class we got in last year, those are the two best classes we've had in a decade. Okay. You want me to back it up? You want to bring the receipts? I'm going to do it. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right, folks, this is the last 10 years, starting with 2015 right here. Okay, in 2015, we had an average score of our recruits of 89.48. That's in 2015. You know what that class was ranked? Number 4 in the country. Well, 2 days ago, we finished with a 91.07. That finished 13th in the country. So don't get caught up with the rankings. How can we not even be in the top 10? We got to be in the top 10. We should be in the top 5. It's about the quality that you get. It's not about the number. Back in 2015, we had 30 recruits. 30. That was Butch Jones. So he grabbed a bunch of 3-stars, loaded them up. See, they count every single recruit. When they do these rankings, they combine them into a number. So if you've only got, let's say you had 10 5-stars, you probably wouldn't even rank in the top 10 because you've only got 10 guys to count. Whereas you can have 33 stars and wind up in the top 10 or close to it. It's about the quality. Do you really want a bunch of 3-stars sitting on the bench? How does that help you? Yeah, oh, it looked good. We finished number 4 in the country. What would he do? Without Josh Dobbs, you can't even win a game.
He ain't lying.
So look at these numbers. Last year, 2023, 90.87. That was the Nico year. You happy with Nico? And the last time we were over 90% was 2019. So think about how long that's been. Going on, what, 5 years? Normally we're down in the 80s, 87, 87, 88, 88, 89. Now we're up around 91. That's a big improvement. Also, in the last 2 years, we've gotten 4 5-stars. That's 4 big-time recruits. I'm actually surprised we didn't get that Jordan Seaton guy, but there's no telling what that dude's going to do. He's committing to Colorado. He's committing to TCU. He's going to commit to Maryland. He's going to commit just wherever he feels like committing that day. That got ridiculous. But we still got 4 5-stars in 2 years, plus a ton of 4-stars. Our blue chip ratio is super high. We have the blue chip ratio to win a natty. You got to be above 50%. That means over 50% of your 4 and 5 stars are above 3 stars. We've done that the last 2 years. That's what you've got to do. You got to get quality. And look what we got. Jordan Ross, the number 1 edge player in the country out of Alabama. Thank you.
Alabama!
We get him. We get another 5-star Mike Matthews, who I think is going to be a star, especially with Nico throwing it to him. Braylon Staley is going to be a beast. Top 100 wide receiver. Shane Beamer is ill about that. Number 1 wide receiver out of South Carolina.
I drink your milkshake.
And on down the line. And there's Boo Carter, who Deion Sanders was going to supposedly get. He didn't even get Seaton. So we got a bunch of great players, and we did last year too. And that's what he went for, is quality. I also need to remind you of one other thing that everybody seems to want to forget. We have to give up scholarships because Jeremy Pruitt broke a few rules. 181. And we had to give up 25 scholarships. So the first year, which was 2021, we gave up 12 and amazingly had a winning record. 2022, we gave up some more. We got to give up more this year and next year and so on until we've given up all 25 scholarships. Although we didn't really get punished according to Dennis Dodd and the pundits in the national media. Even though we lost 25 scholarships, we had a horrible cloud over us for 2 years in the NCAA. We had a ton of negative recruiting against us and a $12 million fine. But oh no, they didn't do anything to us at all. And oh, all the coaches got show causes, 3 to 5 years, meaning they can't coach in college football for that period of time. And they got fired. So yeah, nobody got punished for that.
Shut up!
So I think it's important to remember those things. So I couldn't be more pleased. I think he's doing a fantastic job with recruiting. And oh, you know what else? Let's look at the transfer portal. Kind of important. We just picked up Chris Brazzell, who is a big-time wide receiver, 6'5", almost 200 pounds. I think he's going to be an excellent player. He had a great year last year for Tulane. Also picked up Jermod McCoy, who's going to be a cornerback. which we really needed, and that guy was a strong one at Oregon State, had a great year last year. Jacoby Thomas, also a big-time riser. This guy is getting better as we speak. And then the number one tight end in the transfer portal, Holden Stace. So what he's doing is he's going for quality. Then he enhances it with transfer portal guys that can be plug and play or can be very strong backups for you in case you have injury or you just, look, you need depth. You got to have some depth, especially in the secondary where we basically, you know, our entire secondary is gone, which was our big problem for the last 3 years. It's been our Achilles heel. Well, look, in 2021, we were lucky to even be able to put some people in the secondary. We didn't have anything after 30 guys left after the whole Pruitt thing. Then in 2022, we at least had bodies back there. And same thing with 23, we tried to enhance it. Well, now we're going with all 4 stars and transfer portal guys. And I think we're finally improving the quality of it as opposed to necessarily depth. So I expect the secondary to improve significantly over time. We may have some growing pains at first, but understand we're going to have guys with much higher ceilings than we had with the 3-star guys. And that's not me getting on them. It's just, look, 4-star guys have higher ceilings. It's just a fact. So do 5-star guys. So I'm really looking forward to the next year. 2024 is going to be awesome. We've got Nico at quarterback. Our wide receiver room is just packed with quality. Look at the new guys we just brought in. And also remember, very important, why didn't you just go out and spend a bunch of money in the NIL and we could have gotten the top 10 for sure? Well, you know what? You got to keep the guys you got. We brought back the entire offensive line, almost the entire defensive line. Do you not want to pay them anything and watch them go in the transfer portal like the secondary did?
No way.
I didn't think so. You don't want that. So look, you've got to retain the quality guys that you got. You can't take all your money and go and get the new guys because, oh, they're shiny and new. And all of a sudden, Cooper Mays walks out or a whole host of guys that'd make you sick if they left. So let's try to remember that. But I'm really pleased. And for the people that are out there ripping on the recruiting because we didn't finish in the top 10, don't look at the ranking, look at the quality because that's what's important. Every team above us in that top 13 had brought in more commits, anywhere from 22 to 28. We were at 21. That's going to keep you out of the top 10. Most teams do 25. Well, again, we've got to give up some scholarships. Yeah, we could have packed in some 3 stars and upped our ranking. That doesn't do you any good. They're just going to sit on the bench most likely anyway. Go for the quality, enhance it with the transfer portal, and go out there and win ball games. And that's what this guy's been doing. He won 7 the first year, 11 the next year, probably going to win 8 or 9 this year. And then next year, I look at 10. I think we're going to win probably 10 games. If Nico plays anywhere close to the level I expect him to and stays healthy, we should be fine and dandy. And at this time, I do want to thank today's sponsor, which is Eco Heating and Air. They have 3 locations, one in Lenore City, which is right next to Knoxville. They service that entire area. Jamestown, Tennessee, and Dunlap, Tennessee. Now, these folks are big-time Vols fans, and they had been watching this channel, and they reached out to me and wanted to see about sponsoring, and we discussed it and worked it out, and worked out really well. And it's really important that you take care of your HVAC, your heating and air, because if you don't, look, it's getting ready to turn cold, and you know how bad it gets in the summertime, because if your unit goes out, it'll be 85 in your house in about 10 minutes, and nobody wants to deal with that. Well, guess what? In the wintertime, it does the opposite. It's getting ready to be under 30 degrees every night, so you'd better have your HVAC ready, that's for sure. The last thing you want is your unit to go out and then it's 10 or 15 degrees at night. So Eco, which is known for their really fast service, they have a maintenance special right now that includes 2 visits, a 21-point inspection, and a special UV cleaner that they'll add to your unit, the type they use in hospitals. And you'll get that for free as part of their maintenance agreement. So be sure to check out Eco Heating and Air. They have great ratings, whether you check out Google or Yelp or wherever, and they take really good care of their customers. I can tell you right now, several years ago, I didn't take care of my HVAC, had to replace the whole unit, and that was $8,000. And that was back then. What do you think it would cost now? So be sure you take care of your HVAC. Don't be like me and don't be like Aunt B.
Why didn't you call the man?
I should have called the man like you said.
That's right. Call the man. So anyway, I did want to talk about this because it really irritates me when people start talking about rankings and they don't take quality into account. It's not fair. That's not fair.
Don't raise your voice to me.
It just isn't. So I'm going to be here to straighten that out. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's me know to continue to cover my Vols, the SEC. I'd like to cover a lot of stuff. And if you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit this little button. You might get more rants like this. And right over here is most recent video. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.